Welcome back to LJ's Comic Borough. My name is Jay. I'm the host for the show, and happy new comic book day to everybody. Hopefully by now you guys were able to already pick up the books that you been having at your local comic book store. Flip through them. Hopefully the stories and characters are going in the direction that you want them to, and if not, do what I've done and just drop the damn things. I get tired of sitting there reading shitty comic books. I've got way too many books to read to continue to keep reading the really crappy ones, so like I said, hopefully those stories are going definitely in the direction that you want them to. On the other hand, I've got some really cool artwork here to show off from a local artist that sent me their stuff. I printed it out to be able to show them off to you. And then on top of that, we definitely have a ton of books that I actually read this past week to be able to get ready for this show. So first things first, if you like what you're watching, if you like what you're seeing, dear God, if you like the words coming out of this mouth, please like, please subscribe, please share, and most importantly, please leave a comment. I'd love to be able to hear about the books that you're personally reading. I'd love to be able to hear about the characters that you enjoy reading about. And this is definitely a really cool place to be able to have that comic book, or I should say that comic store conversation that you normally might not be able to have, depending on if you get your books delivered, like sometimes I do, and there's nobody here to be able to talk about some of the really cool stuff that you might want to get off your chest about. So let's get into this. And I actually have a really cool artist, like I said, to be able to show off here. She sent it to my Instagram page, and she was talking to me about, if I personally wanted to be able to do a comic book. And, if she would have asked me like 2 years ago, I would have been into it. I actually have this really cool story that I wanted to do for Ghost Rider. But by now, I'll be honest with you, I'm really cool and really happy doing this show. I wouldn't change a damn thing on this show, other than probably be a little bit better speaker when I'm doing this recording. So other than that, let's show this off. This is an artist here. Her name is Emilia, or Emilia. If you go to her Instagram page, it's EM_arts, as an ARTS _. So this is really cool. Let me show you two more of her characters here. This is one of my favorite characters that she drew. Unfortunately, when I was printing it out, I think I cut off his head. But and another one here. A lot of really good detail, and I got a couple panel work that she did. And one last page. And like I said, her name is, I think, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong, it's Emilia, Emilia. And it is EM_ARTS_. And that is her Instagram stuff. And this way, I think she has some more pictures there that she actually has there that she did not send me. So like I said, if you're looking for a really great artist, she actually is open to doing some comic books or whatever you want commissioned. I think she's up for it. So all right, let's get into some really cool comic books. Now, if you see the pile and the stack that I have here, some was for look, and some was for reading. And let's get to the ones here. Some really cool stuff. First thing I'm going to show you is Ice Cream Man issue. Yeah, right. Issue number 39. I absolutely love this book. I cannot stress, if you haven't picked up any Ice Cream Man, you're definitely missing out, because this is some of the best horror stuff that's probably out right now. I absolutely love the Ice Cream Man character. I love the stories that they tell. Prince does an amazing writing job. This story personally is about 5 seconds long, and if you read the story, you'll understand that is part of the story. This story is only 5 seconds long. All right, the next book is Blue Book by James Tynion. Blue Book number 4. And yes, it is about UFOs, and it is a great story. I do appreciate James Tynion and the work he has put into all his writings, but definitely into this book. I love it. It was definitely one of those books I'm glad I ended up picking up. All right. Huge fan of this next writer. If you notice, and most of the time I'm going to tell you, I usually follow characters. Well, I at least did when I was growing up. But by the time I reached a certain age, I was done following characters. I mean, there's certain ones I will still pick up. I am still a huge fan of Amazing Spider-Man. Unfortunately, I'm not a fan of the writer, so I dropped it like a bad habit. I got tired of reading dumb storylines, and with so many great books out there and so many great writers, until they change rating, I'm just not doing it anymore. But this gentleman I absolutely love is Al Ewing. It's Immortal Thor. Beautiful cover by Alex Ross. Basically, all of Odin's kids are gathered together in one, and they are ready to, I guess, take on whatever story that they're about. They literally ended on a cliffhanger. You got them all together. It's a part one of a 2-part story there. And I am so glad I ended up picking this up. I know a lot of people were, that I actually talked to in my work and at the local comic book store. They didn't know how this was going to go. I love this. This is the story of Burke, if he would have lived. What If Aliens, issue number 2. Love that. Great story. By the time you get to this issue, Burke's an old man, and he's still trying to get an alien hatched. It's amazing. It's like he has never changed over the 30 plus years that this book has already covered. It's all he wants is an alien. All right, Dan Jurgens, Mike Perkins, Mike Spencer. This is issue number 3 of the Batman First Night. I read the reviews. They loved the book themselves. They felt the last bit was rushed. Personally, I loved how it ended. This is definitely, if you have a chance to go pick up all 3 issues, if you love Batman, this is a great story, and you get to see Batman with a gun. Yep, that's exactly what I said. Batman with a gun, because that's how he used to roll back in the early 40s, 50s. All right. Whew. This is next stack is okay. It's amazing. So I started reading Something Epic. All right. I read the first 7 issues, and the first 7 issues is a lot of explaining. So it kind of took you out of your element, because all you're doing is learning about the area, about the epics, about the powers that they have. You're just learning. So by the time you get to issue number 8, and it goes through another story arc, there didn't need to be so much explaining, which made the story flow so much better, because you're not really having to sit there and go, oh, that's what an epic can do. So, issue number 8 is definitely a great starting point and an amazing beginning of an arc. 2 detectives ready to try to solve the case. Where's Zeus? All right, issue number 9. All right, and this is actually the issue number 8. This is, I think, the B cover. It is an homage, obviously, to Frank Miller's Batman: The Dark Knight, issue number 1. Love that cover. I mean, the older that Frank Miller got, some of his drawings, and some of the way he sat there and drew things, should say, a little bit of blocky, and it felt like it lost its roundness, it lost its form. But there's one thing that he did do right, and it will be copied from now until the end of time, and it's that Dark Knight issue number 1 cover. People love that cover, and I've seen so many people use it as their homage, as a cover C sometimes or whatever. So great cover and amazing book. So, all right, this next book here is the Image crossover. As you can tell, I've got a ton of Image books here at this moment. All right, this is Image. This is Image. This is Philadelphia issue number 34. It's the Image crossover. It's got 2 more issues in it. So far, the story has been pretty great until maybe the last 2 pages of this book. I'm still invested. I'm still ready to read the next 2 issues, but kind of like took you out of the story there at the last 2 pages. So I'm hoping that issue 35 and 36 flows quite nicely, and you get to actually see a nice payoff with the vampires and with the other Image characters. So, woo! I'm so glad I picked this up. It's been a joy to read. This is Sam and Twitch issue number 1. And yes, Sam is still a dick. Complete frickin' dick. But I'm going to say this. Twitch is tired. Twitch is so tired of him getting him in trouble. It's awesome, but it does pick up in issue number 2, which I'm about to show you. And this is Sam and Twitch issue number 2. I love this cover most of all. So far, this is my favorite cover. So basically, Twitch got invited to a different town while he is right now on leave. I should say he's been suspended because of Sam, and he's trying to solve a murder. So that's where they're at this moment in issue number 2. And this is issue number 1. This is the alternate cover. This is the Todd McFarlane special. And there's Mr. McFarlane's name. Because who can draw Sam and Twitch better than Todd McFarlane? All right. Now this is a book that's pretty much been going up in price, which I'm really surprised. But it supposedly has a kind of like a, I don't know, it's not an homage to a rapper, but it's basically, it tips a hat to one of the rappers. I think it towards either the beginning of the last page. Cover A has been already been going up over $30. Personally, I didn't get it for that. I got this only because I'm a huge George Perez fan, and Galactus. he drew Galactus. So if you haven't seen some of my older videos, huge George Perez fan. I pretty much anytime I have a chance to be able to pick up a George Perez cover, I will. So yeah, George Perez's Galactus. Love it. All right. Now, I have read the other issues, but I had to take a pause because there were so many books I was reading at the time. So I cannot tell you what this is, but it's Chris Claremont. All right. So it's definitely going to definitely be a home run. This is Wolverine Madripoor Knights, issue number 4. Black Widow, Logan, and Captain America. Look at that. Alright. So, I ended up picking the Virgin cover over a Comics Connection. So, I did have the regular version for my wife to read. And this is Feral, issue number 1. Now she actually can, I guess start reading it. This way she didn't have to ruin the 1 in 10 Virgin cover. All right, this is actually issue number 2. It's a 1 in 75. It's really, really cool. It is a glow-in-the-dark Virgin. Well, no, it's actually not Virgin. It's a glow-in-the-dark cover. And if you can tell, if you turn it the right way, look at that. That's a really, really cool cover. See the skeletons of the dogs. Yeah, the markings on the top there. But yeah, that's a pretty cool cover for issue number 2. And they're already at issue number 3. So this is Feral, issue number 3. And this is the 1 in 10 for Feral, issue number 3. I did get the Virgin covers for my wife, just in case she ever goes back to Baltimore Comic-Con, which is coming again, and they are there. So just in case she wants to actually get it signed, she can get the Virgin cover signed instead. All right. You guys know that I do love my shiny books. This is Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars, issue number 4. The shiny cover. Look at that. Now, I actually have a chance to get issue number 8 again. The newsstand cover. Fortunately, you have to buy all 12 issues. It's a $250 set. I looked at the set, and me and my local comic book store worker both agreed. When I looked at issue number 8, it almost looks as though somebody took a pen and paper and started writing on top of the pen on top of the cover of issue number 8. For $250, I can, I have all the issues except for 8. So I'm literally just looking for a great number 8. This way I can get it graded again and add it to my collection, because I would love to have that book back. But it is what it is. I have I have time, and I'm very patient. So eventually, like I said, I will get that book back again. All right. For those fans of Mr. Liefeld, this is Deadpool number 1, his cover of Deadpool. Now, if you ever go to the Whatnot, use the Whatnot app, and you go, I think he's on like Wednesdays or Fridays and stuff like that. He's on different nights. Liefeld does this cover, but he'll end up burning his name into it. Looks really, really cool. I couldn't tell you the price. I've seen it a few times, and then you can actually get it graded right there. So you just got to pay for the grading, because somebody from CGC, I guess, is there witnessing him signing off a lot of his books there. All right, and this is the shiny version of Deadpool #1. Personally, this is my favorite. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I love that red cover. And this is the summer of Deadpool and the summer of Wolverine, with a movie coming out here very shortly. So almost everything is being invested into some kind of Deadpool and Wolverine storyline. All right, this is Amazing Spider-Man. I couldn't tell you which issue this is, because this is that What If Disney character cover, the West Coast Avengers. Look at that. I really do like what Disney did for these Amazing Spider-Man. Unfortunately, I wish it would. I mean, unfortunately, they are right now on Amazing Spider-Man, so I feel like they're getting a boost in sales just for stuff like this. But yeah, this is the What If Mickey and friends were the Avengers from the West Coast. Look at that. All right. This has been unexpectedly great. Not just good, but unexpectedly great. This is Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, issue #6. This whole storyline has been phenomenal. The Justice League has really been put into some bad places because of these giant monsters from the MonsterVerse. And I'm so glad. See, here, let's stop it right there. Anytime you put a fight, okay, in DC, in the DC universe, and you have Superman, and you're going against Superman, you pretty much know that you're going to lose. All right, there's no way to win. He's freaking Superman. He has every power and any power that you could possibly want and desire. He has it. Cold air, shocking air, whatever. He's got strong air. He can knock you down, throw you across the ocean with just his breath. All right. He also can freeze you with the damn stuff. He also defrosts you with his eyes, because, dear God, yes, heat ray eyes. He's strong as hell. He flies, even though he originally didn't fly. He flies. He's fast. He's pretty much everything and anything that a superhero wants to be. So it's hard to make stories that are really good when you're going against Superman. That's why I always say, if you're going to do a great story with the Justice League, sometimes it's good to leave Superman out. That being said, they knew how to deal with Superman. I am so glad I read this story, because they definitely surprised me a lot. I think they surprised everybody reading this story. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, issue #6. So I do have issue #7. This is not the issue that I'm going to read. This is the issue that I ended up picking up from Comics Connection down here in New York. And so I still got to wait to pick up issue #7, the reader's copy. But Beast Boy with a lantern the size of Kong is pretty cool. All right, no matter what anybody says, this is some cool shit. So wanted to be able to show this off. All right, I got 3 more books. I ended up picking them up on a whim. I saw them there on the shelf, and I really wanted to own them. They're not first print, but you know something? Sometimes the second print is worth a little bit more to people than the first. Thus saith this issue right here. This is Moon Knight, issue #1. It is a key comic, and it's worth double than what first print really is worth. So I wanted this series since the Moon Knight series came out on Disney Plus, and I was really glad I was able to find it. This is also second print, Moon Knight issue number 2. All right, and my last book of the night. This is Moon Knight issue number 3. Also, second print. Pretty sure. Maybe this is first print. Actually, that's first print. So, I got lucky. 1 out of 3. So, other than that, dear God, I hope you guys enjoyed the books. I hope you enjoyed everything coming out of this mouth. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please like, please subscribe, please share, and most importantly, please leave a comment. I'd love to be able to hear from you. And that's the show, guys. Dear God, I hope you had like I said, I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you have an amazing week coming up. Hope you guys enjoy the comic books that I showed you guys. Please tell me what covers, what stories from these books that I've shown you. I hope. Please tell me which ones you're reading. Please tell me what covers that you absolutely enjoyed. Your favorite artists from some of these. Dear God, I've had definitely some great artists here. Between Liefeld, I had George Perez, I've had Todd McFarlane. So, tell me which covers that you guys absolutely enjoyed. And most importantly here, like I have brought it up this time and many other times, if you're going to rescue, make sure you please do your research. If you have any questions or whatever before you get your animal, please send them my way. I have no problem ever be able to answer any questions or anything. I cannot answer any kind of questions because I've been rescuing for quite some time now. I will at least be able to push you show you in the direction that you can get your questions answered. So, from my family to your family, have another great week, and I'll see you all later on next week.